What's going on, everyone? Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. It's about 6:30. Here at one of my favorite lakes to fish, Eastman Lake, just east of Madera. Since it is a Tuesday, there's pretty much no one out here. I see someone over on the other side looking like getting ready to launch their boat over there, but get a little bit of light winds right now. The temperature is about 54, 55 degrees. I think it's supposed to get up to about 75-ish or so today. But Eastman Lake, you know, it's a fun lake. You know, I love fishing out here. You know, there's some big bass out here. You know, Eastman back in the day was considered a trophy lake. You know, it still is. It's still not uncommon to hear about someone catching a double digit out of here. But the lake, it's, you know, it's either on or it's off. So, you know, I've had, you know, some days out here that are just, you know, fantastic. You know, caught some big fish out of here, and some days came out and, you know, didn't catch anything. But, you know, that's fishing. But, no, we got some light winds right now. I think it's supposed to drop down a little bit more. But, you know, we'll go out and give it a try. You know, usually when I come out, I usually go like towards the dam and, you know, hit the rock piles over there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right over here and kind of head in the back a little bit. You know, there's a lot of structure out here, a lot of rock piles, trees, brush, you know, all that stuff. So I'm going to try back in there, you know, around the brush and the trees, and see if we can get anything through there. And then if we're not getting anything through there, we'll head over towards the dam and start hitting those submerged rock piles and everything. Another good indicator out here is they do mark, you know, their rock piles and little islands and stuff with the orange buoys. So if you see those, you know, try to hit those up. You know, try to use your electronics, go over them, see what there are. You know, they're rock piles, or, you know, they're just a sand island coming up. But, you know, also too, you just got to be aware of also, you know, the lake is really low. So these rock piles and little islands, you know, they'll show up out of nowhere. So you just got to be really aware of those. But yeah, we'll try to do about a half day today, about noon, 1 o'clock, see what we can do. Hopefully we can get that big in today. But let's not waste any time, and let's get at it. Actually, about a couple weeks ago, I was doing the PAL tournament at Millerton. You know, the night before, you know, Halloween, you know, double checked all my electronics, make sure all my batteries were charged. Everything was looking good. Get down there, sign in, launch the boat, park the truck. I actually got a really good number to blast off. As soon as I went off the dock, dropped my trolling motor, I had no power to my trolling motor. You know, the light came on, it kind of flickered, and then it just shut off. Kind of looked at it real quick, couldn't figure it out. Thought, well, maybe, you know, once we blast off, hit to my first spot, maybe the vibration will knock it kind of loose a little bit. Headed into the back and got about halfway back, stopped at my first spot, still wouldn't come on. Tried to use my main motor to, you know, keep me in positions. You know, in the morning it was kind of light winds, it was kind of glassy, so it wasn't too bad. About 11 o'clock or so, the wind started coming up a little bit, and yeah, it just made it really difficult. But I was able to catch two, you know, a decent one, about 3 pounds, and then another smaller one, about 1 pound. And, you know, I believe weigh-in was about 3 o'clock, and, you know, about 2 o'clock, I just kind of had it. Got my pictures of my fish and just basically went in and just called it a wrap. You know, it is what it is. You know, I still had fun. You know, I got out to do some fishing. When I got home, kind of did some investigation, used my multimeter, and come to find out my connection from my ground to the wire to my batteries, my ground to my batteries, wind up frying. And it was just something that just a little simple to kind of take me out of the tournament. Got it all patched up, repaired, and, you know, Only took me about 10-15 minutes to repair it, and yeah, we're back in action. Do some pitching around these trees. That big old girl. Let's go. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's two big ones. Basically all I'm doing, I'm just going along these trees and just pitching right into them. Just using a 3/4 ounce with a size 3. Pitching punching hook, bobber stop, and a big bite baits, creature bait on it. And that one I didn't really feel her. Just felt just a slight little thump. Like I said before, any little thump you feel, set the hook, because you don't know. That's it. It's about 12 o'clock right now. Started off going back into that arm. pitching into those trees, and that's where we're able to get those two bigger ones at. Threw the spinner bait around a lot, caught one little small one. Went out from that arm out onto the main lake trying to find those submerged rock piles, throwing on those and couldn't get anything. So it's just slow. It's that time of year. We'll go ahead and weigh these two big ones we got and see what we got. And launch ramp's not too far away, and I'll just kind of hit the bank on the way back. Hopefully we get another one, but if not, it was a fun day. Got 4.5. I got 4.25. Yeah, so we tried to go around that arm back there, tried all through there, through the trees and everything, and it was just tough. It's just that time of year, fishing slow. But the good thing is we got two decent sized ones. So like I said, we're gonna hit the bank back. The launch ramp's not too far away from here. See if we can get another one on the way back, but if not, no big deal. But make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe, and until next time, thank you.